Today, I'll show you how to do your Kucoin crypto taxes. Hello, my name's Nelly. Welcome back to another wallet integration video. Today we're talking about Kucoin and how to do your crypto taxes with the help of Koinly. So I'll tell you a little bit about this exchange. We've done videos in the past on Kucoin, but this is an update video. Platforms change all the time and we always get new API integrations and stuff like that. So it was long overdue for this video to be updated. But yeah, let's jump into today's video. So Kucoin was founded in 2017 and it's based out of Seychelles. Currently it is a top 5 exchange by trading volume, which is not surprising when you look at the feature set they have. They have a lot of insane features, obviously trading, earning, derivatives, NFTs, and they have their own mobile wallet. So let me know if you're one of the many people using this wallet. Okay, that's enough about them. Let's talk about the integration. So first step, as always, log into your Koinly account. If you don't have one, create one. It's completely free. Click on add wallet and then type in Kucoin. So it actually was one of the first ones to pop up. There's two different options. I'll show you both, starting off first with the API autosig method. So a few different important things to note here. Lending interest can only be fetched if trade permission is given. Data prior to Kucoin, and the reason why that's significant, I guess, maybe I should talk about that first, is some people do not like giving trade permission in API, which is perfectly understandable. So we'll talk about CSV files as well. Data prior to the Kucoin upgrade on 2019-02-18 may be missing. This is on their end and not on ours. Transfers to/from future account should be added manually. So if you are dealing with futures, I've made videos in the past on how to create your own CSV file. So I'll leave those in the link down below and you can obviously find them on the channel. So settled lend trains are limited to the last 500 transactions, or sorry, last 5,000 transactions. So on the off chance that that applies to you, please keep that in mind. But yeah, let's talk about how to get the API key, the API secret, and the passphrase. So going on their exchange, in the top right corner under your profile, you have a little section that says API management. And Kucoin is actually one of the few websites that ask for like 3 different authentications. So obviously make sure to have those set up before you begin this process. But we're gonna click on create API. Give it a name, call it something like Koinly. Here you set an API passphrase. So I put 120493. So let's copy and paste that here so we do not forget about that. Then we're gonna go into this area. So you do not need to touch anything else here. Trade and transfer can be unselected. And then here for API restriction, we can put no. We should put no, and then we can click on next. And then this will give us our, if it loads, which for some reason it's, I'm missing, sorry, it must be 1 additional character, it looks like. So 120493 1, and then we're gonna click next. And then I am not a robot, of course, answering some fantastic CAPTCHA to prove that I'm not a robot. So now we need those authentications. So we need the trading password, which you've set beforehand. We need the email confirmation and the 2-factor authentication. So once you've gone through all of those authentications, here is the key. Make sure to copy and paste that into API key. And then we have the API secret. Make sure to copy and paste that into secret, and then click here, click secure import, and there you have it. Alrighty, so that's one route you can take. I've switched over to voiceover Nelly because for some reason my camera did not record well for this part, so I've had to do it again. But anyways, if you'd like to go down the CSV route, no problem, we can do that as well. So we're gonna go back into add wallet. We're gonna find Kucoin. We're gonna click import from file, and then I'll show you the various files you will need from their platform. So on their platform, in the top right corner, click on this wallet icon, and then from here, we're gonna click on history, and underneath it says deposit and withdrawal, and you have 2 different CSV files you're going to need. So one for deposits, one for withdrawals. Export to CSV. One thing to keep in mind here is that you can only export information for up to 100 days. So this will mean, unfortunately, you will need to export a bunch of CSV files to have your entire transaction history. And once again, I'd like to remind everyone that you do need to have your entire transaction history so Koinly can calculate your capital gains. So once you're done with that, if you're only looking at 1 year, you will need 4 different CSV files. You're going to go into the withdrawal history and then do the exact same thing for that. So that's one set of files, your deposits, your withdrawals. The next set is located under the icon next to it that says spot trade history. So from here, you're going to make sure this is, oops, that's a misclick. You're going to make sure this spot is selected. You're going to make sure that you go on to the trade history tab, and then same thing as before, export CSV, and including, make sure to include your entire transaction or your entire trade history. And another thing to note here is that you want to select for pairs, you want to select all. For side, you want to select all. And for this type, you also want to select all, making sure that all that data is included in this CSV. Moving on into the next section, the cross margin account. Obviously, you don't need this if you're not doing these kind of things on your account. So only get the CSV files that you absolutely need. Same thing as before, we're going to click on it. We're going to go into our trade history, and then we're going to click export to CSV. And once again, making sure everything is selected as all. And then, of course, keeping in mind that your CSV data is only up to 100 days, so export as many files as you need. And the last set of CSV files is the isolated margin account. If you are performing that, same thing as before, we go into trade history, export to CSV, making sure all is selected here, and getting as many CSV files as you need. Once you have those files, drag and drop them into Koinly one by one and click import, and all your data will be imported like that. As you can see, this method for CSVs can get quite tedious, and we strongly recommend using the API route, but that option is there for you as well. And for the people that have, futures and anything like that, make sure to get those transactions in. Regardless of which route you use, you're going to need some sort of CSV file. So once you've imported your data, regardless of which route you've taken, go into the transactions area and check underneath the hood what's going on here, making sure everything is sitting correctly with you. Koinly has already done the most difficult part, which is calculated your capital gains and losses. Make sure to obviously tag your staking, so send to pool, sent from pool. And once you're happy with that, go into the tax reports area, and here you get one final summary of your crypto activity throughout the year. And once you're happy with that, pick a tax report appropriate for your needs. And as you can see on the screen before you, we have plenty of different tax documentation. For the US, we have the IRS Schedule D, Form 8949. You can also export to TurboTax, both online and desktop versions. We have reports for UK, Sweden, Norway, France, Switzerland, Australia. And then lastly, Canada, Germany, and other countries, we have the complete tax report, which, keep in mind, is a document you can print off and give directly to an accountant to combine with your other tax documentation. Or alternatively, you can invite them to Koinly and they can set up their accountancy firm here with us. And then lastly, check your country's rules and regulations, because this tax report might be deductible. But that'll about do it for today's video. If you need further assistance, no problem. I'm going to leave a bunch of different resources down below. Firstly, we have the Koinly Help Center with countless different crypto tax related articles. We have a feedback section if you're having any issues with our software. We have a forum section if you need to talk to someone in our community or someone from our staff. And then lastly, we have a contact section where you can send us a message directly, and we'd love to help you out. But I do hope that you found this video helpful, and if you did, consider dropping a like, subscribing for more crypto content, and I'll see you next time. Peace.